Okay, folks, this is interview number 2 with Toni, and we're going to be focusing on her career as a sex worker, a prostitute. Toni, thanks for doing the second interview.
You're welcome.
I understand you were a prostitute for 30 years, you said in the last interview?
Uh-huh.
So how old were you when you first started working for sex?
Legitimately?
Illegitimately. When's the first time you had sex for money in any capacity? The main...
23?
You were 23.
23. Almost 23 years old, yeah. It was right before I turned 23, so I was 22.
How did you meet your first John?
My 2 youngest children's father sold me for a handful of rocks to one of my classmates.
You mean like crack rocks?
Yeah, crack.
To one of your classmates. You were in college?
No. One of my classmates, meaning from high school and junior high that I had grew up with.
Okay, so former classmate.
Yeah, former classmate, sorry.
When you say a handful of rocks, how much rocks are we talking
His
about?
hand covered my face, and so literally the rocks were falling out of his hand.
So it was a lot of
It
crack.
was a lot of crack. Yeah, it was just one of those, oh, I've always wanted to sleep with you, da-da-da-da. He was a crack dealer. You know, he ended up being a crack dealer, my ex-classmate. And Paul said, hey, you can have my old lady for some rocks. And
Was it a black guy, white guy?
it was a black guy.
How did you feel about that at the time?
Like a piece of shit, man. I was
Excuse me?
angry. Like a piece of shit. I was angry.
But you did it.
I had to.
Did you share in the crack? Did you smoke
I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
So you didn't get to smoke any of the crack? That wasn't part of the deal?
No. By the time I got back, you know, I didn't know where Paul was, and everything was gone.
Did you want... Would you have smoked the crack at the time? Were you
I
smoking
was
crack
smoking
then?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long between your first prostitute encounter with the John you just mentioned and your second one? How long between the first two?
I really don't even know. Maybe just a couple of years, if that.
Okay, so it was 2 years between the first and second.
Yeah.
At what point did it become, if ever, a daily thing? How old were you then?
25, fixing to turn 26.
25 what?
Fixing to turn 26. Yeah.
25, about to turn 26, okay. Were you literally walking the streets, walking the highways, kind of with your thumb out? How did you find John's?
There's the hostro in, Panama City, which
The what?
is the hostro, what they call it, the whore-stro, where the whores walk, it was
the horror strip, you said.
Yeah, and
So what year would that have been?
1996.
1996. Is that still going on there in Panama City, you think?
Yes, but it's not as prominent as it was back then because meth has taken over and the internet and stuff. Everybody has cell phones and stuff like that. So, when I left there, I was pretty much like the last of the Mohicans. You know what I'm saying? There was maybe.
So you're one of the last streetwalkers on Horror Strip.
Yeah, on the hostro. That's what they call it. H-O stroll. Like
Ho-stroll.
Yeah, stroll. My New Orleans accent doesn't always pronounce things right. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you have any Johns that stood out as your favorite or least favorite? Like someone you thought, I could really like this person if I would have met them in another capacity?
Yeah.
Or ones that were horribly abusive that were your least favorite? Tell us about your favorite and your least favorite Johns.
I have some Johns that I've been seeing on and off for 20 years. I actually fell in love. Left the streets with them. Left the streets. Got sober for a very short moment. The least favorite? I mean, I've been brutally abused. Raped, sodomized, left for dead naked in the trunk of a car,
How many times did something like that happen?
Not as many as you think. Probably.
More than once?
Of course, more than once. And it was really, probably within like the first 10 to 15 years of it, I never really had much problems as I got older. I chose a different type of men to get in the vehicles with than I did back then. And believe it or not, most of the people that I got in the vehicles with... Bless her.
Ma'am, we're going to take a break from the interview here. I have something for you, if you'd like it, if you're hungry. I have some donuts for you. Excuse me, I have a cupcake for you if you'd like it.
No, I gotta go on this spot.
Okay.
I do too. I apologize.
You got to go?
I do, because I have a curfew that I have to get back to.
Okay. Well, you got my phone number.
And if you'd like to talk more, I would love to talk more, because this is something that needs to be said. I believe, I know what I bring to the table. I know my experience can and will help other people.
Speak up.
I know that my experience can and will help other people. It's just right now that I'm on a time frame for my curfew with my sober living home, so I have to leave. But I will talk to you again, sir. I will.
All right.
I will
I hope to
contact
do
you.
another interview with you about having met. What's her name?
Eileen Warners.
Eileen Warners, the only female serial killer in history.
And I've also been incarcerated with Deidre Hunt.